Hey guys, so I am back with a full-blown tutorial for you guys using, yes, the Wet n Wild Venice Beach collection. They came out with a limited edition collection. Wet n Wild has long been one of my favorite drugstore brands for eyeshadows. They do really good palettes. Like for the price, they do really good palettes. So these are their color icon palettes. There are 8 shadows in here, and these, again, Venice Beach collection. These are available now, so they're limited edition, so if you're interested, definitely run out. And they're bright, they're bold, they're in your face, they're like a bright summer collection. So I am doing a bright, bold summer look because I'm not letting go of summer. Summer is mine, I'm keeping it. I don't want winter, I don't want the cold. No, I don't want it. So for this fun look, if you want to see the tutorial, stay tuned and I'll talk to you soon. So here's an up close view of the look that we are going for. So let's get right into it. I already filled in my eyebrows and I'm just going to apply a little bit of primer. This is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Anti-Aging version, and I'm just applying that to ensure that my base that I'm going to apply will apply more smoothly. I'm going to apply a neutral tone base. This is my Laying Low Paint Pot from MAC, and I'm just going to blend that over my lid using my Real Techniques Deluxe crease brush and then blend it out with my finger, which is really going to warm the edges and make it blend seamlessly into my skin. Next, I want to go ahead and clean up under my brow and also add a little bit of a highlight. So I'm applying my Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade 30, which is Café. And then I'm going to blend it in using my Maximum Coverage Concealer Brush from Bare Essentials. Again, you can go back in with your finger just to make sure you blend the product completely into the skin and there are no harsh lines. Alright, so for the colors on my lid, I'm going to use 2 of the palettes. I'm using the Hemporary Solutions, which is the one with the white and the pinky reds and the greens over here, and then the High Flying Colors, which is the one with the purples and the blues. So the first color I'm going to grab is the white shade from the Hemporary Solutions palette, and I'm grabbing that on a It Cosmetics 112 Precision Shadow Brush, and I'm popping that white shade right on the inner tear duct area. So I'm just using kind of circular motions just to deposit that color and really ensure that it pops. So just use circular motions to apply that color and tap it in for intensity. Then, because white can be very harsh, I'm going to clean off the excess product off the brush and just go around the edges and blend it in a little bit more with my skin tone. Now I'm going in with some pops of blue, so I'm grabbing the High Flying Colors palette and I'm grabbing the 2 blues from the palette. There's a little lighter one and then one that is a little bit deeper. They actually look very similar on the lid, so I'm going to pop the lighter one on first right next to the white using the same brush, and then pop the deeper blue on right next to it, kind of onto the middle of the lid. Then I wipe off the excess off the brush and go around the edges in the crease just to fade that out. And as you can see, the 2 colors kind of look very similar. There's no real difference, but you know, just blend them in so it fades from darkest to lightest. Now I'm going back into the Hemporary Solutions palette and I'm grabbing that deep like mermaid teal shade, and I'm going to grab that on a MAC 239 eyeshadow brush, and this is going to help us pack on the pigment from this color, and I'm just going to apply that in pressing motions to the outer part of my lid. So I'm bringing it inwards to the middle and I'm concentrating it on the outer part, and just fade it in using flicking motions into that blue that we already placed down. I'm going to use that same brush and pick up some of the blue and just intensify that color because it doesn't show up too intensely. So I'm going to use this Pack-In eyeshadow brush just to build up the intensity of that color and then blend it out. I'm just blending out the edges of those colors using the 119 all over shadow brush from It Cosmetics for ULTA. This is just a very large shadow brush and it does kind of a blurring, erasing motion when you use it cleanly in the crease area. So it's a clean brush, nothing's on it, I'm just using it to blend out the edges of the colors. Back to the High Flying Colors palette, I'm going in with the dark purple now at the bottom. It's a matte purple, and I'm picking that up on a Sonia Kashuk large crease brush. Again, this is a very stiff brush, so it will pick up a lot of color, and I'm just applying that to the outer lid and outer crease area, just concentrating on building up color. So I'm just using tap-in and circular motions just to deposit that color and really build up that intensity before we blend anything out. Now I'm going in with another IT Cosmetics All Over Shadow Brush. This is the 216 from the Live Beautifully collection. It's a similar shape as the other 119 brush, but I just have this one and I was using it for the purple, so I'm using it. But you can use that same brush or any blending brush that you have to blend out the edges of that color. I just love the shape and fluffiness of these kinds of brushes. They really help to blend out the crease colors and the edges of eyeshadow. Going back to that High Flying Colors palette, I'm going to pick up some of the dark blue and apply it right between the purple and the teal so they blend a little bit better together, because blue and teal will blend better than purple and teal. So just blend them between those two colors using the Sonia Kashuk brush. Light motions will blend that out very easily. Then I'm going back into the palette and picking up some more of the purple just to build up that intensity of the color, because we lost some while we were blending, and mattes are notorious for that. You will lose color while you're blending. Then for a pop of color above that purple, I'm grabbing the pink from the High Flying Colors palette on that same All Over Shadow Brush from IT Cosmetics. It's the 212, and just blending it right in the crease area. So I'm staying directly on the crease and brow bone and just lightly applying that color so we get a pop of pink right in that area. I'm going to go ahead, clean off the brush, and then go at the edges to blend that color upwards so it's not a harsh pink line. Just use back and forth blending motions, blend that out, and then pick up a little bit of the purple and add a little bit more purple. Same brush again, and just build up the color and blend as you go. I'm going to lightly clean up under my eyes and at the edge of that color, but not cleaning up too much, just making sure it's nice and clean and it's not going all over the place. I'm picking up a little bit more of the pink and purple and just building out the transition so it matches the other side, so I have enough pink popping out like we do on this side. For my highlight, I'm grabbing a light peachy color. This is Peach Smoothie from Makeup Geek on a MAC 252 brush, and just applying that under my brow for a highlight and blending it downwards, so it will help to blend out the edge of that pink and make it a little bit more diffused. So just use that brush and blend the color downwards. For the lower lash line, I'm going back in with that purple from the High Flying Colors palette and applying it with a MAC 242 shader brush on the outer lower lash line area. Then I'm picking up some of the deep blue next to that purple and applying it just to the center of the lower lash line. Same brush. And then to finish it up, I'm using some of that blue, the deeper blue, the shimmery blue on the inner lash line. And now for the lower waterline, I'm just going to apply black liner. This is my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in the shade Perversion, which is just a rich matte black. Of course, for my mascara, I'm using my Too Faced Better Than Sex. Just apply that to your upper and lower lashes. And then for my eyelashes, I'm using my Beauty Sense lashes in the style Erotica and just popping those onto my upper lash line. I finished up the eye look by applying a very thin winged eyeliner on the upper lash line area. So here's the finished eye look. Let's move on with the rest of the face. Alright guys, so now we're moving on to the face, and for my foundation I use the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation. I use the shade 355 Coconut mixed with 330 Toffee Caramel. I had to mix these two shades to get a shade that matched my skin tone because there's just no shade in between these and I need a shade in between those. So that's what I used for my foundation. And then for my cheeks, I wanted to keep it affordable, but I wanted to also use a product that I haven't used on camera before that I can recall. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I ever used one of these. This is the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek Colors. This is in the shade Fruit Stand, and it's a matte, really bright coral shade. So it's a mix of orange and pink, and it gives this beautiful color to the cheeks. I apply that using my number 110 Face Shape brush from Zoeva. And I recommend using like a synthetic brush for these products, definitely. So I popped that on my cheeks, and then I blended it out using my Sedona Lace number 480 brush. But then the color kind of vanished, and I was like, wait a minute, I need this to show some more. So I went in and just picked up a little bit more of the color on the actual Sedona Lace brush and popped it onto my cheek. These Sedona Lace brushes are good for creamy products and products that need synthetic brushes to apply them. So liquids, creams of that nature, and products like this that they're not quite powder but they're not quite liquid cream, but they're still like a moussey texture. I applied that, blended it out, and I also wanted to use one of their highlight colors. This is, again, another Super Shock Cheek, but it's a pearlized one. The other one was matte. This is in the shade Tasty. And this one is a beautiful, it's an iridescent coral too, but it's a lighter coral and it has pink iridescence to it. It's a really beautiful highlight color on deeper skin tone. This is one that I would recommend. It gives me a nice subtle sheen without being too overwhelming because it blends in. You see, it blends in nicely with the skin. It gives that nice glow to the skin without being overwhelming. I just applied that using my Tom Ford number 2 brush. You don't need this brush to apply this. This is just what I use. And then for the lips, still keeping it affordable, we're going in with one of the ColourPop Lippie sticks. This is in the shade Fancy. I stuttered just there. But I'm using the shade Fancy, which is my color. It's a peachy. It's not my color. I am not. They did not do a collection with me. I was not a part of this, but it's a beautiful color that I would probably do myself. It's a light coral, peachy coral shade. Pop that on my lips, but I only applied a little bit and then I blended it out with my finger to give that blurred effect. So you can use that, do that with any lip color. You can just apply a little bit and blend it out so you just get this flush of color rather than an intense color payoff to the lips, you know? And then on the top, I grabbed one of the Wet n Wild Coloricon lip glosses that came out with the actual collection, and I popped that on my lips. It is in the shade, does it have a shade? Apparently not. It's just the orange one. That's the only one they have, and I popped that over it, and it gives this really beautiful juicy look to the lips. I actually really like it, and it was like $1.99 or something. But yeah, that is the finished look, and I really love how it turned out. It's nice, it's summery, it's fresh. These colors, these palettes actually worked out really well. It's a really pretty look. So definitely check out these products in store. I got mine at Harmon's, you know, that Bed Bath & Beyond spinoff. They do have them in Harmon's. You can find them in other places too, but if you are interested in these palettes, I definitely recommend them. They may need a little bit of a stronger base to apply them over just to make sure the color picks up, and you do need to pack the colors on, but that goes with any matte color or matte shade, and they're inexpensive, so I don't mind working a little bit more or putting a little bit more effort into these shades since they're so inexpensive. So if you're interested in checking out the Wet n Wild Venice Beach collection, I definitely recommend these palettes. These are really nice palettes to work with, especially if you're into bright colors and you don't want to break the bank on bright colors because you're not going to wear them every day and you just want some bold colors in your collection. You can grab these. They're very inexpensive. I think I paid $4.99 for mine at Harmon's, and I did use my $5 off because I bought all 3, and I got that all 3 for like $10 something. So definitely check these out if you're interested, and hopefully you guys enjoy this tutorial. I will leave a full list of products used down below in the description box as usual, as well as links to my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and I guess Periscope is the same thing as my Twitter. So definitely check those out if you're interested, and thank you guys so much for watching and supporting. I love you guys, and if you're new to my channel, thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you enjoyed seeing what you saw. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!